Welcome to another episode of the Well Life Podcast, where we connect with experts across what we have determined to be the 8 dimensions of wellness.
We got on an expert today. His name is Osiris Shepherd. He's our head coach at the studio. He's put in a lot of time, a lot of work to get to where he's at today. We appreciate him, having him part of the A-Well family, running the studio, breaking down virtually every single class for us. So, what's going on, man? Thanks for having you on.
This is a special one. To have someone that's in the A-Well family be in the conversation. I think that we've been waiting for this one for a little bit to get OC on here, talk about your life, your experience, your growth. So appreciate you taking some time in between your busy A-Well schedule, to be on here with us.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one.
So real quick off the top, tell us kind of where it all started for you getting into fitness. We know you, wanted to get put on some size, we're an athlete, but what was the real thing that kind of got you in the gym and actually started lifting?
My great friend, best friend, he just told me one day if I want to come to the gym, and just ever since that day, I just never left. I just kept going. It was something that I really love to do because obviously as a athlete, a soccer player, I felt more comfortable in the gym, just with adversity just facing in the game, whether it's low playing time, not playing as much in the game, which really got to my head a little bit. But in the gym, I felt more comfortable, it's you versus you. It's your own journey, and it's your own growth factor. So
gotcha.
That's what I love.
So you saw it more of as rather than the sport against other people, you wanted to find something that was kind of how you could grow and develop yourself, not against anybody else, but fully against yourself. That's actually an interesting take. I haven't really heard that perspective too much before, especially.
And that's good because obviously we know a little bit about your backstory.
Yeah.
Kind of even in kind of getting into fitness, just obviously because we spent so much time together, just talking about that. Tell us a little bit about how you went through that kind of that mental journey of going through something that was adversity in your life, using the gym as a place to kind of strengthen yourself and kind of feel better as you kind of came through that.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Just during that phase, 2022, obviously going through heartbreak, family problems, and just being in my own head, not in the right headspace, not doing the best things that can impact my life, and obviously, as we preach, living a well life. So it was just the gym was always that one thing that I wanted to wake up and do. I probably only got out of bed just so I can go to the gym. Obviously train Christian, who I train till this day, and just seeing his progress as I had more experience, so I was helping him out. Seeing his progress gave me mental satisfaction, mental clarity, and just little by little, I just got in my head. I was maybe I want to be a trainer.
Yeah.
I was
just being able to see that growth in him also made you feel something.
Yeah, and obviously I was going through that point in my life where I was I was going to college, but I didn't know what I wanted to do there. I was just going to obviously please my mom, as coming from an immigrant mother from El Salvador, where she thinks the American dream is graduate high school, get a diploma, go to college, get a degree, get a house, get married, and just I wasn't in the same lane as her. I had different thoughts. I didn't know why I was going to college. I had nothing interested in what I was doing. I was majoring in business, but that's everybody that does what they want to do. And I just took the risk, and I was I just want to drop out, focus what I want to do, who I want to be, where I want to be, and what I want to do for the rest of my life that's going to make me happy. So that's one big step that I really had to take.
No, it's great. I think that a lot of young people are stuck in that path, right? Obviously, you came from a place where immigrant mother, she says, hey, this is what I've known to be the path to success. This is, and honestly, it could be the most clear path, right? Without trying to start a business or do anything. You go to school, you get a degree, hopefully you should get a job, and hopefully she's hoping things work out for you.
Yeah.
But sometimes that path, doesn't always fit with our intentions and what motivates us. So for you to kind of take that leap, what kind of sparked that jump for you, It
was probably just one day, obviously the adversity I was facing put me in a really low point in my life. It was just one day, just getting up and just saying, I got to do something. I can't just be crying or just be sad or just be putting all my emotions into, let's say, just going out, drinking, doing generous stuff. So
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like,
A lot of generous stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of
it's just like that click. It's like, okay, get up and do something.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just be in this mindset, set of mind your whole time. Just hustle, fix yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, just level up. You know, I just really got in that mindset, and that was the second step that got me to all this. So, just fixing my mindset. Favorite book that changed was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That was a really big one that really helped me.
Yeah.
Just like through the journey, and just like, okay, I'm gonna better myself. I'm gonna get jacked. I'm gonna get financially right, emotionally, mentally, and I'm just gonna be strong. So
Yeah.
if I ever face it again, I'm ready for that.
Love that. Yeah, just set yourself up for success, right? Just in case adversity does come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
good.
It started with the physical too for you, but I'm sure like obviously you kind of diverted the path. Like we've all gone through it. Our parents can say certain things. All parents are going to say what they think is safely the best thing that you should do, right? Whether it's taking a leap, going and starting a business, when you have a secure job, taking a leap, dropping out of college, doing something else that you want, even though you don't even know what you want to do, and there's no immediate path to money, right? You're not walking into a $100,000 job the next day by dropping out. Now it's like baselining yourself and figuring out what you really need to do. And for me, kind of like sticking on my path, not being the math major, not doing certain things, but realizing everything around me that's feeding me may be intentionally the right thing, right, by my parents, but realizing what I want and sticking to that gut feeling all the time. So I give you a lot of credit to do that, because I definitely wouldn't have done that before college or even in my first year of college. It took me those couple of years. I had such a hard mindset on myself to like go to college, really, really stay on the ground, never go out, never do certain things. Obviously, I was a little more reserved. It was more my nature as a person, and still is, but right, even in college, just like trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted to do and like be something. And when I come out, I was focused on coming out of college while I was in college, not being in the college and just enjoying that moment, right? It's like, what do I do now? So I give you props and credit. And what were the main factors that you think? I remember you coming in here after you said you went to the gym at 5 or 6 a.m., you'd come and do a 7 a.m. class when you started coming in, saying what up to us, feeling the vibe out, trying to push yourself really hard. You were the young kid no one even knew, and we almost couldn't get rid of you.
30 pounds lighter, if you could imagine.
Maybe still the same weight. I don't know. Did you put on any set? But what was that like for you? When did you know that you wanted to either approach us or get in here, and you knew that you
or
were
take
like,
that
this
risk.
is interesting. You saw Tyler,
Yeah.
right? You had tried to hit him up, and that kind of went from there. What was that? And you like, what gave you that feeling of like, I want to just hit it. Like, I want to know this guy more, learn from these guys, right? Like, what was that?
Yeah, obviously, I saw. Well, first I saw you guys at Gym 33. I don't know about you. I remember him. I remember it was like 5 in the morning. I'm just like, God damn, I don't look like that guy when I'm older. And then it was just like keeping that familiar face. And then when I feel like I saw you one time before, but the second time, it was just like, it was like perfect timing. It's like meant to be moment. It's like, if I say 5 seconds or 10 seconds longer in the bookkeeping office or just like chatting to someone, I would have missed the opportunity. It's like he was walking in and I was leaving. I was just like clocking out. So I stopped him and we had that conversation. And just from there, it was just like, come take a class. And then he was like, you guys were like, all right, you can come back. Come back. And then just like loving what was going on. Just like knowing before that I want to be a personal trainer. And I was like, I'm just getting my certification and, you know, take that route. But it was just like, okay, now I have the opportunity to like really get big into this.
Yeah.
Like, 2 guys, they're willing to take me on, let me learn from them, feel out their studio, shadow. I was like, all right, why not take this opportunity?
Yeah. I mean, I like and I think I'll tell this story forever and we talked about it when you came in here in the beginning. We tell people it just of the perseverance and kind of the motivation that you had, right, just to even have a conversation and come up to me, right, twice. So OC's working in a health food store. Yeah, we seen you in the gym, probably said what's up a couple times, but came up to me, right, tracked me down the first time, like, hey man, I see that you guys are opening a spot, would love to come by, right, okay, we say, yeah, come through, nothing happens after that time. Next time, right, see me again, I'm like, yeah, come through, come to this class, 6 a.m.,
supermarket.
right, yeah, at the supermarket, at your job, right, 6 a.m., I'm like, yeah, come to our 6 a.m. class, whatever it was the next day, you show up, and never left. Right, but that was it. You were here 6 a.m. that day, showed up on time, ready to work, and then stayed fucking forever after that, right? Just
I think I showed
ready
up
to put the
before
work
you
in.
even.
But you never showed up.
I was there at 5:45 drinking a
Yeah, my-
little energy drink,
Yeah,
getting
actually,
ready.
that's you're on your energy
Yeah,
drinks,
bumping
but you
some
were
Ice Spice.
you were ready
Whoa.
to go, right? And that people have to understand that luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. You have to be ready for the luck that's going to come to you, because
Yeah.
if not, you're not going to take it. Like you said, you could have been standing somewhere else, or you might not have said that you were ready to have that conversation with me, right? Someone that's maybe
Yeah.
opening a business or ready to take that jump. And who knows? You could be anywhere else in the world right now, right? But you took that jump and you were prepared for it, right? So it became luck, as in the instance that you were saying there.
And
so I commend you for that. Good shit.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like preparation in having any experience coaching or any experience in the industry.
Yeah.
I give it credit because there's even more of a baseline of just prepared. Like you started to learn how to be more prepared and open up yourself to receive our criticism and receive the constructive criticism of us, of the members, the business, learning, right? I remember when we first sat down and drew out some stuff on a piece of paper of like how the body moves and how to program. And you were like, I don't even know how I'm gonna do this. I don't know how I'm gonna it's not just like chest day, back exercise, or I'm like, no, like this is the whole anatomy of how things work together, right? Muscles work and support each other. And if you got this problem, this might be a way to fix it on a different end, right? It's just like you stuck it. And that's the hardest thing to do, because it's very easy to get complacent in the industry, and it's very easy to get down on yourself in the industry if you're not immediately necessarily making money, or feeling like you're confident and you're gaining knowledge so fast and you have the clientele that you're training, right? So for you, I like that kind of constantly having your sights on improving, right, is like a huge part. And you stuck it out, and all you wanted to do was learn for the most part, right? And that's like, you had to remind yourself that sometimes and been like, all right, like let's put the ego down, let's chill. We had some conversations, and you were like, wow, I've never needed to check myself this much, right? So, yeah.
So I'm gonna pop out for a second. You guys continue it. Love to hear. I want to hear us to hear more about how you prepare yourself now, right? More of the training that you're doing. I think you've been researching, training, getting certified, talking to more people in the industry than most people do. I think that's a good story for people to hear.
So we'll continue. All right, go get them. All right, back to it. So now just us, right? What was probably, throughout this whole thing, what was like the most, I don't even know if there is one thing, but a couple things, what was probably the biggest eye-opener for you? Number one, the biggest thing that you learned that opened your eyes in the industry. And number two, I'm going to say, is the thing that kind of made you be like, wow, this is something that I want to continue into. Right.
Biggest eye opener, probably just everything that goes into being the great coach and just being the perfect product. It's like, yeah, anybody can run through a workout and make them do like maybe some chest or back, or just like, it's really easy to get someone fit. Like, you can make them do push-ups and a sprint for as long as like 10 minutes, as many rounds as possible. It's like, but it's just like how to be a great coach is like in all areas and having all the tools to be ready. And a big one that I really appreciate that which makes me want to even know even more, is just like how to fix injuries, how to make people feel better if they pull their back on the deadlift. And it's like, oh no, you don't need to go to a physical therapist. I have these areas of knowledge where I can help you, and we can do a little bit of rehab, and we can still get a good workout. So it's just killing two birds with one stone. And just always being ready to solve a solution. So that was a big eye opener, and also the long hours that it takes.
You had to put in.
It's like being young, just thinking, okay, I charge like $100, work 5 hours, and work more. I mean, work less, make more. But just like being around business owners, especially first year, and just seeing how much work it takes into owning a business, building a business, just even personal training hours in general. Like, that's probably one of the biggest things. I always had like a hustle mentality, or just like anything that I love to do, I just worked for it. Like soccer, I had a love for it. I played for many years, and just like preparing for, let's say, varsity season, just like with my boys, just grinding. Like COVID, it was pandemic, but we were just like still working on the field at 7 a.m. We'd go with my boys, throw some cones, he would run us through a workout, and just
Yeah, that's
always
huge.
being ready. But that was easy for me, just like being able to hustle. But it was just like figuring out the hours and
Yeah.
just
It's like a different form of hustle,
yeah.
right? It's like actually realizing that like getting up at 5 a.m. may be easy in just like the plain sense of doing it. So you feel like you're hustling rather than like, okay, now like what does 12 hours straight of work in a day look like? And then when you don't have work, how do you create work to improve upon the other points that you need to work on in the industry, right? So it's like creating that. And then second part was what really hits you to like realize that you wanted to continue in this industry and stay on it? Because it gets difficult, right? It gets difficult when you're maybe not seeing the dollar amount in your pocket. You're not seeing the translation directly, right? Because obviously we all got to make money. We all got to live. And being someone that wants to, right, be so far ahead, and you have this vision of where you want to be and what you want to do and how many sessions, like you said, you train 5
Yeah.
sessions a day, work less, do this, and then there's just like you're walking in the mud a lot. You feel like you're slowed down a lot, or it takes a lot longer to get there. Are there any like big things for you that like kind of keep you driving every day, or things that you've kind of seen that you want to strive for that are like worth it for you?
Probably just like knowing that I'm in good hands. I remember when I first came, I wasn't making anything, and I was working 3 jobs on top of that, so I was
Yeah.
making good money. Even though I was working a lot, I was making like more than $1,000 a week, and then just like coming over here, where it's like, okay, you got to put in more hours if you want to be where you want to be.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, now I quit this job. Now I got fired from these 2 other jobs, but and then just like finally just like quitting Wild by Nature, working at some other place at night.
Yep.
As a side, just for a little extra money, but just really dialing in and just like trusting in you guys, knowing that you guys are great guys. Being around you just like obviously made me a better person, just being the man that I am today. So I
Appreciate
knew
that.
that I'm in a good position where just, surround yourself with good people and you just come out great as well. And just knowing that you guys would really hold me down and
Yeah.
when the time's right, and I show my loyalty. That was the biggest thing, just like trying to show you guys my loyalty, especially being the first intern and coach here
Yeah.
that you guys hired, to just being young in the business with you guys, first year, showing you my loyalty, my respect, and my hard work to you guys. I knew that you guys would appreciate it and make it worth one day.
Yeah, no, it's appreciated with the tough love that we're trying to give you, and it is our first kind of go around with that, trying to hire, trying to figure out that, because we're trying to figure out, right, what emotions you're feeling while we're trying to get you to be a certain thing, but also keep you patient to let you know that it's going to come, but the time it's going to take, right, it might be a little longer than it seems, and that's like almost where I'm sure you, we talk about wellness on the podcast, but it's like, the mental battle is probably the biggest battle, right?
Yeah.
You have a parent on your back. What are you doing every day? Are you going to work a job? Are you going to do this? What are you what are you doing? What does that look like? How much do you make? Like, right? And then you got your own physical battle inside, outside, emotionally getting up. You're tired. So then how do you feel like you're satisfied when you're tired and you're working all these hours, but it might not be paying off yet, right? So it's difficult. You stuck it through.
Yeah.
And that's a huge part, I think, of anybody's success, of like finding how they can stick it through to find that, right? Trusting the process is a huge thing. It's like you don't fail until you quit, right?
Yeah.
Quitting is failing, but constantly doing it and outlasting the process is what's going to make you succeed. Even if you do fail during the process, right? You don't actually fail because you never quit. And that's a huge point, right? And you've learned that for yourself, right? We've had so many conversations, so many serious conversations about the business, the members, the upkeep, the this, the that, right? How to approach this, how to do this better. It's been a learning process for us too, and me too, right? It's a mental battle for me trying to say like, all right, why are people reacting this way? Why are you reacting this way? How can I convey things differently or be a better leader and try to figure out how to coach a coach instead of me being the coach, right? Appreciate it. Like, you're obviously a staple piece here. And that brings me on, like, where do you see yourself growing? What do you see yourself in the next like couple of years growing to for yourself? What's your goal, probably the ultimate goal in the next 3 to 5 years? It's easy to say a monetary value. It's easy to say, right, this or that, but where do you see that? Obviously, you're in it for the long haul with us.
Yeah. Personal goal. I always say that. I always try to duck the question when they're like, "Where do you see yourself in 10 years?" Because everything can change.
There's no plan. Yeah.
Obviously, planning to stay in the game,
Yeah.
keep training. Obviously, this is what I want to do for a very long time, but I don't know an end goal. Like, I always hate the question where you see yourself in 10 years because you never know what happens tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's like just reflecting from my life, just noticing that. When I was like, when I was young, I said I want to be an NBA player. I don't think that's, I soon found out it's not going to happen. Then
Yeah.
I want to be a soccer player. Then I was like, okay, I'm not going to be a soccer player,
Yeah.
obviously. Then it's like in high school saying, okay, I'm going to be a psychologist. And then taking a psychology class, goofing with my friends and failing and stuff. And I was like, no, it's like,
Yeah.
and then it's funny, my senior article, my last thing said, I want to major in real estate and finance.
That's interesting.
that-
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that. So it was just
Yeah.
like, not knowing what's going to happen. I never knew I was going to be a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, every day's a new day. You never know what choices you make that could change your life. But I'm always planning to stay in the game. But just right now, my goal is obviously just grow as a trainer. Just keep getting as much knowledge, connections, experience as possible in the next 3 to 5 years. And then figuring out a game plan for the next 10, 15, 20. So,
Cool.
yeah, just trying to be better every day. And just my goal ever since I came here would just be the perfect product for AWOL. And just be the perfect coach. It's like knowing that I have the opportunity to show like 2 guys that I can work.
Yeah.
I can be loyal. And just knowing I can put myself in a really good position just being with you guys from the jump. So
I appreciate that. It's hard because there are no straight answers, right? It's just like, that is almost the way to describe it, right? What are your goals? The goal is just to keep improving and getting better at everything I can and stay in the game. I like that. I like that a lot.
yeah, it's like an example, like Don Saladino, he was just, what's it called? Brick and mortar gym owner.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, now he's training celebrity superheroes and
Yeah.
he runs an online business. You
Yep.
never knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So you just like, never know what happens in the next couple of years, but the goal is always just to be better.
Yeah, no, it's huge. Shout out to him for helping me out throughout my career a lot. And right now, like, you've met him throughout the past year and seen him and connected with him. Been a great guy. But yeah, he's a direct kind of example of longevity and like being able to pivot and adapt in the industry, because COVID was huge. It ruined a lot of people in the industry. I always said that COVID kind of made the real trainers come out of the woodworks. And everyone else that wasn't serious about it, right, in the industry kind of had no reason to do it anymore because it was very hard to do, right? So, no, that's true. That's huge. But to wrap it up, we like to ask that one question, right? What does wellness mean to you? So if you could describe what wellness means and what living the well life means to you, how would you describe it for yourself? Doesn't have to be general. It could be for yourself and how you see it.
How do I see it? I see it a lot. I know there's like 8 aspects of life.
Dimensions.
8 dimensions. Sorry, but for me, the 2 biggest ones is just like physical and mental. It's like I always preach that keeping a strong mindset, and obviously it comes with the physical, as working out, getting your body moving can really affect your mindset, your mental, and put you in a better state of mind. I know a lot of people that we train, they're like, after that workout, I feel like I was in a better state of mind.
Yeah.
But just like being mentally prepared for whatever is going to come at you in life, whatever adversity, and just make sure you're mentally right to be there. Because, you know, obviously tragedies happen, adversity people face, and it can put you in a really low position. It takes a lot of time for those people to get out. But just being ready for that moment, or whether it's good, whether it's bad, and also obviously just to be physically fit, be able to have the longevity in life, and just being ready for anything.
Give yourself as like I like that. That's highlighting the mental and physical, because you take it right as at a baseline. If your health is not 100% or close to, and your mind's not there, then nothing else can really be tended to. You just don't have the capacity to manage your finances, do what you got to do socially, right? Maybe for your job, all this stuff, right? Like the battle you go through maybe on a daily basis, or you lose a loved one, or you go, right, something happens tragic and your mindset starts to drop, right? Your mental battery starts to drain a little bit, and then it's like everything else starts to become harder. I like that.
Yeah.
It starts with the physical and mental.
Yeah.
Cool.
I feel
There you
like
have
if
it.
you can be mentally strong, you can do anything. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree. Cool. Thanks for popping on. It's been long awaited. And Osiris Shepherd, head coach of 8 Well.
Part 2 coming soon.
Where can they find you on social? They know where to find you from who follows, but where can they find you?
Just Osiris Shepherd.
Check them out on Instagram. Thanks for listening.